What is going on, casuals? Today I have another video, and as you could have probably guessed by the title, I am going to be giving my rankings. I don't know why I have this set up like this. Hold on. Let me close out of any. I can't close out of any ads. I fucking hate this site, but it will get better. I'm going to be ranking the craftiest UFC fighters. All right, we're going to be going through. I got a list of about 20. Didn't want to grab too many, make it too long of a video, but I wanted to grab about 20 UFC fighters and rank them. Some of the craftiest and least We got some of the craftiest and least craftiest guys. Because what's a list without a couple stinkers at the bottom of the F tier? You can't just have everyone at S tier. We're not ranking the best of the best here. All right? We're ranking the craftiest fighters. Now, if they're crafty, the crafty doesn't mean they have to win a lot or they have to be the top of the division at all times. Crafty just means they gotta have some tools in their bag that keep their opponents at bay. That fraud check some of the up and comers and let them know that they ain't all that. All right. Today I'm just gonna be giving my rankings on the craftiest UFC fighters there are, and I'm gonna just start out. Jared Cannonier. I want to put him in the C tier. Jared Cannonier is pretty crafty. He's got a simple man's game. He's got a real good simple man's game. All right. He sticks behind the simple straight shots. He utilizes good pressure. All right, but he's pretty crafty. He'll mix in a couple takedowns here and there. He's got durability. He's got sneaky cardio for his age. He doesn't really tire out all that much. All right, he'll keep pushing forward and going. He's got the shorter, stockier build. Not many people see his game coming. All right, he's real good about gassing his opponents out, playing the long game. He's a real crafty, sneaky, good fighter. He's a crafty, sneaky fighter. He'll go out there and he'll fraud check. I wouldn't say he'll fraud check, but he'll check a guy like RoboCop. Let him know, hey, you ain't the shit. You know, he'll go out there, maybe lose, but he'll get a crafty takedown against MVP, dominating him for the round. All right, he's a pretty crafty dude. He's underrated in terms of craftiness. You know, he's got some sneaky good cardio. He's got good power. He's got clean boxing. I'd say he's a solid C tier crafty guy. He doesn't really do anything incredibly crafty. I'd say the craftiness just comes from his level of experience in the cage and the competition he's fought, as well as, the factors of the sneaky good boxing and cardio. I'd say that's where his craft comes from, but regardless, Cannonier, he's a solid pick. He's a vet, but he's a little bit of a crafty vet. He's going to do his craftiness now. Next up, Arnold Allen. I'm gonna put Arnold Allen in the B tier. Arnold Allen's a bit more crafty than Cannonier for the similar reasons. I'd say he's more youthful. I'd say his youth carries him, but his I'd say if we break it down one by one, he's got a sneaky good speed, and he's got really sneaky boxing, underrated power. I would say. I'd say he's an awfully powerful guy. You know, he can go out there and he hits you clean, and he hits you in the right spot. You're going fucking boom, like what he did with Melquizael Acosta. You know, I'd say a lot of his craftiness comes from again, his experience, but his ability to kind of mix it up when he needs to. You know, he's got that crafty if I am correct, he is a southpaw. Is he not? Arnold Allen is a southpaw. Let me look it up. Arnold Allen stance. Can't believe I'm fucking looking this up. Yeah, Arnold Allen's he's a southpaw. You know, against Costa, he was He's got a crafty blocking game. You know, bringing up the knee and the elbow, bringing up the knee and the elbow on the same side. He's got a crafty poker face even. Immediately into his fight with Costa, he got hit with a spinning back kick to the body. And he said, you know, it hurt real bad. I just didn't show it. He's got a good poker face. That's crafty. He's got some sneaky good trips up against the cage that you don't expect to kind of steal around for him. He got a nice 1-2, clean 1-2 that, you know, he's real fast. So he'll catch you clean with it, rack up points, he'll hurt you, he'll drop you, he'll stun you. You know, he can make a fight dirty and gritty. He's got, you know, good knees in the clinch. He's got a real kind of a good defensive system for grappling. He'll float along the bottom really well. He'll flow from position to position really well. You know, he's got the good crafty style. He's a real crafty dude. I'd say he's not old enough for the craft to really kick in. He's not old enough for the craft yet. He's not true crafty vet status, but I'd say he's old enough. He's at the point where you could be like, Arnold Allen. He's got some tools in his bag. He's a little bit crafty. The amount of times we're gonna say crafty in this video is gonna make a fucking person kill themselves, but in game. But Arnold Allen in the B tier. Next up, Grant Dawson. Oh my God, 6 minutes in and I've only 3 fighters in. I'm gonna put Grant Dawson in the C tier as well. He's got a good crafty, like weird, like striking system where he'll land like these awkward overhands and these good leg kicks. And his grappling is real solid. If he's able to take down short, stocky guys like Mateusz Rebecki, you know, you gotta have great grappling to do that. My only thing is that he doesn't really have the durability. He doesn't have the durability. He's got the style and he's got the tools, but he doesn't have that durability. Grant Dawson could be like... Grant Dawson and Beneil Dariush could be the craftiest fighters if they just had like if they had like, I don't know, if you gave them the chin of someone like Charles Johnson, someone who doesn't even have that great, no, not a crazy chin, but you know, a good enough chin. If you gave them the chin of someone like that, like pound for pound, they'd be the craftiest motherfuckers in their division. They'd be top 10 gatekeepers for the rest of their lives. But since their chin is made out of the fucking bones of someone with osteoporosis, then they like a single gust of wind and it sends them into a 6-week coma. So they have the skills to be crafty. R.I.P. Beneil Dariush. But he's just not. He doesn't have the durability to really maintain that craft. Similar to current day Jack Hermanson, I'll say. Jack Hermanson, before his last 2 fights, I'd say he was the craftiest middleweight we'd ever seen. I'd say he was a real crafty middleweight. All right, he had some real good he had that good, what did he have? He had that real good win against Joe Pyfer, where he was able to just withstand the punishment in the early rounds. And he was able to piece him up with his good boxing, a jab, the leg kicks, the takedowns. And then he fought Gregory Rodriguez, and he was crafting him up, and he got slimed out. And then he fought Miktabek Orovai, and he would have crafted him up if he didn't have to move down to 170 and actually get slimed the fuck out. Because that was possibly the least crafty move of his career. Crafty move, getting a win over a guy like Joe Pyfer and then taking a year off. Letting the win age. That's crafty. That means your next win, you can call for something big. You're like, I beat this guy and he's on a good win streak. Let me fight this guy. What's not crafty is getting knocked out cold stiffened, and then coming back like 3 months later, a weight class down, and getting knocked out. Jack Hermanson, I think at one point, I would have put him in the A tier, the S tier even. But he's just too CTE ridden at this point because of his last 2 knockouts to be any higher than the C tier. Moving on. Oh, you already know where Davey Grant. Crafty as a tree. Like, what? Crafty as can be. Stout as a tree. Whatever Lucas Tracy fucking said. Davey Grant is like... He's got to be the craftiest fighter we've seen. He's got the good, like, he's got the winging shots and the leg kicks and the body kicks, so mix up his strikes well. He can defend the takedowns now. He's got a good chin. He's durable. Davey Grant's he's crafty. He's one of the craftiest bantamweights out there. Davey Grant is an S tier crafter. He needs no introduction. He needs no explanation. Davey Grant, welcome. You are the crafty vet. Next up, we got Cesar Almeida. I'm going to put him in the C tier as well. You know, he's an older kickboxer. He comes from the Alex Pereira generation of kickboxing. He's got real good striking. Good striking. He's got... It's a fucking car that just started honking out of nowhere outside. That was fucking weird. He's got real good striking. He's got the good leg kicks. He's sneaky with his body kicks and his recovery. And he's got real good he's got real good power. He's got like underrated power, and his ability to, I would say, fight back in tough positions is really underrated. He just doesn't have the takedown defense to be crafty. Like a lot of these guys, like Jack Hermanson, he had the takedown defense. Cannonier and Grant Dawson, they had the takedown. They have the grapple. Grant Dawson lacks the striking and the... I'm going to put Grant Dawson below him. Grant Dawson lacks the striking and he lacks the durability. Cesar Almeida at least has some durability. David Gray, he's got the takedown defense and the crafty striking. Arnold Allen, he has the crafty grappling offensive capabilities. Cesar Almeida, he just can't craft it up. He just can't defend the grappling. Cesario Olajic literally just like laid on this dude for 3 rounds. Boring as fuck. This dude was crafting up Roman Kopylov on the feet, but was getting... He was fucking Roman... We forget Roman Kopylov has an OV at the end of his name, and he started showing it in that fight. He started getting taken down and just at every opportunity by Roman Kopylov. You know? I mean, he's just not that... He's got the crafty striking. He's halfway there, but he just needs that grappling. But I think he's just too old at this point, in my opinion. So next up, we got Charles Johnson. I'll put Charles Johnson in the B tier. I'd say Charles Johnson at one point was the flyweight fraud checker. He was the guy. If you were a prospect at flyweight and you had to fight Charles Johnson, back it up. Back it up. Hey, best of luck, brother. Hey, you did good, but not good enough. You know, recently in his last couple fights, he had the lost to Temar. He's been 1-1 in his, like last couple fights. Lost to Temarov. Then he beat, where he kind of got, Temarov's a Roichi. Crafted it up, used his skill and experience to wear down a guy like Lonnie Kavanaugh, and then knocked him on the second round. Crafty win. Got knocked out by Alex Perez. Returned very quickly and was able to outcraft Bruno Silva to a decision. That's impressive. Then he fought Asu Almabayev, but craftiness can only take you so far. You have to combine... There are certain fighters in this tier list that combine their craft with their actual skill and capabilities. And I just don't think Charles Johnson, he just didn't have the the grappling skills to craft it up against Asu Almabayev. He got twisted up like a pretzel, beat from position to position. You know, he's got the crafty. He's got decent striking and takedown defense, so he's got the ability to craft it up against someone who's not as good, someone who's outside the rankings coming up, who he can get in a dogfight and get to gas out and then knock out. But someone like Asombayev, he's just too. He just doesn't have that level of skill to combine with the craftiness. Davey Grant makes up for it with just pure craft. He's so crafty, he doesn't need like the overall skill. I know Davey Grant wouldn't beat Petr Yan, but he's crafty enough to be S tier because it just his pure ability to use all the tools in his arsenal. Next up, we got JDM. I just oh no, yeah. Just gonna go out there and gonna fight, yeah. I love JDM. But you know, he lacks a certain aspect of craftiness in his game. He's got the good crafty boxing, and he's got real underrated grappling. I mean, he showed he was able to take down Carlos Prates in that first round of their fight. Hey, listen, kid, you fluked us because we chose not to ragdoll you for fucking 5 rounds. We chose to let the fight be entertaining. We chose to lose in an entertaining fashion, okay? We chose to entertain the fans. But JDM, I think he's got some crafty grappling. I don't know if you heard that fart. I really hope you didn't. He's got some crafty grappling and he's got some crafty boxing, but no, I'm not gonna say he's got some crafty grappling. He's got some crafty little kicks, but his striking is a little too simple at this point. He's got great boxing. We already know that, but I think it's the fact that it's purely the fact that he just doesn't do well with like leg kicks and kicks overall. And you know, if this was a gritty man's tier list, hey, JDM's as gritty as they get. But this isn't a gritty man's tier list, you know? He's just not crafty enough. I think he beats most of the welterweights in the rankings. I think he really does. I think you give him the right I think if he starts preparing right for his camps, you know, maybe goes with a bigger team. If he like trains at CKB for his next camp, I think a lot of the leg kick issues will be dealt with. He'll probably make some improvements to his takedown defense, but he really just needs to He really just kind of needs to develop the craftiness with the kicks and the kicking defense and you know, develop that a little bit more. I think once he develops that, he'll be true crafty, and with his craft and his grit combined, he'll be an unstoppable force. But JDM, for now, you reside in the C tier. What do we have right now? 8 fighters on the board. Next up, Justin Gaethje. That's an A tier fighter. Gaethje is known for entertainment and damage. I'm going to say it right now. Gaethje needs to be recognized for his one skill that he's better at than anything. He's got good dirty boxing in the clinch. Dirty clinch boxing is craft. When Gaethje is going out there and he's jabbing you up and he's shooting takedowns and he's fucking throwing a little throw uppercut at the break of the clinch, that's crafty. That is crafty. When he's out there and he's dropping leg kicks and he's got his high guard and his awkward style, that's craft. He's got a beautiful craftiness to him, and he combines it well with violence. His feinting to the takedowns to the uppercuts, crafty. He's good at creating damage. The way he throws shots that create damage so well, that's crafty. And you know what? I'd say against Paddy Pimblett, Paddy Pimblett like hunching over and him just getting a front headlock and sprawling to drag Paddy down, and then just little shots against the head. That's real crafty. That works. You know, just throwing these tight uppercuts in the clinch. It's clean, it's effective, it's veteran moves. Gaethje, crafty vet. Davey Grant, crafty vet. The rest of the guys, they're just crafty. They're just a little crafty. But this is a true crafty vet right here. This is the craft. I'd say Gaethje is like the crafty vet gold standard. Moving on to Marcin Tybura. This is a fall from grace and craftiness. I'm going to put him in the D tier. Marcin Tybura is crafty, but he's crafty against like fat blobs that aren't that good at all. He's crafty against like Mick Parkin. And he's crafty against like Yonata Denise. Mick Parkin is just really fat and slow, and Yonata Denise has zero grappling capabilities. He can craft it up against fat blobs, but he can't craft it up against anyone ranked or high level. And that's kind of where he lies. A once loved gatekeeper of heavyweight. We're now starting to realize that Marcin Tybura, he's just he just fat blobs. He blobs the blobs. Marcin Tybura has a real fall from grace from his once gatekeeper days when we realized that he's not really crafting it up against anyone really good. Moving on to arguably one of the least you know what? I'll kill 2 blockheads with 1 stone. Marvin Vettori and Roman Dolidze. These guys are fucking dipshits. Marvin Vettori has to be one of the least crafty fighters of all time. If this was a blockhead tier list, S tier. He is the golden standard blockhead. Him and Roman Dolidze would be gold standard blockheads. But in terms of craftiness, these guys ain't got fucking shit crafty about him. Marvin Vettori has a 1-2 and a leg kick with 0 head movement. Roman Dolidze has never all he has is like his jiu-jitsu that he can't even get to. And that's it. They're not crafty at all. These guys just don't have any craft to them. Like they have like nothing special in their toolkit. They have experience that they just don't use. Fuck these guys. These guys aren't crafty at all. Fuck them. Marvin Vettori, I can't say fuck Marvin Vettori because we all love Marvin Vettori. But he's a blockhead. They're not crafty at all. Someone who should get the highlight and the spotlight for being crafty. You know what? I was going to put him in the A tier. S tier crafty vet. S tier crafty vet career comeback. Raoni Barcelos. He's crafty as fuck. Raoni Barcelos has the entire crafty package. He's got solid striking on the feet, decent power, great grappling. He can scramble like hell, good submissions. He's very dominant from position to position. I mean, on this win streak that he's had, he has literally went from Christian Quinones to then having to fight Peyton Talbot, having one of the biggest upsets in UFC history. Crafted him up. Crafted it up against Cody Garbrandt. Was able to take the later rounds with endurance and takedown threats, and solid 1-2s against the cage pressure. Crafted up against Ricky Simone. Jabs and uppercuts. Timing the jab, getting good uppercuts, right hands over the top, jabs of his own, takedowns. Again, takedowns, he'll use his own takedown threats. Even if he won't get them, he'll use them well. He had his fight against Montel Jackson. That's a crafty fight. He got dropped early, was able to scramble to a single leg, position to position. He was beating Montel Jackson, getting threats, getting choked. So crafty. He's squeezing on a rear naked choke 3 seconds before the round ends that he just got, just to show that a moment where he almost ends the fight to steal the round for him. He's very, very good. He uses his skills and his experience well, and he doesn't take he won't let a fight get to where he doesn't want it to be. He'll keep a fight where he wants it, forcing his pace and his pressure. He won't fight in someone else's backyard. He'll fight where he is best, and that's where a crafty vet excels. Howdy Barcelos, Davey Grant. Maybe bantamweight's just got some of the craftiest fighters of all time. But you know what? I'm going to skip the line a bit to prove that wrong. Chito Vera's not crafty at all. Chito Vera is the exact same level. Chito Vera is like a blockhead, but he doesn't even do well at being a blockhead. Chito Vera is a walking punching bag who's really good at taking damage. Chito Vera is like the cure to CTE. Because he's been the same way his entire career. The only difference is now he just started to... He must have started an experiment to see how little can I do in a fight while still maintaining my aura and brain. And clearly you could do quite... almost fucking nothing in a fight and still win. And still, like, somehow be ranked and gain respect and keep your fucking brain healthy somehow. All this dude does is take damage in fights. He doesn't do anything. He lets fights get away from him, and he'll wait till the last fucking, like, 30 seconds where he'll throw, like, a fucking big combination that lands, steal a round, and then he'll fucking throw his hands up in the air when he loses 29-28. Alright, he doesn't do anything in his fights. It's embarrassing. Absolutely embarrassing. I don't know what impression I was trying to do there, but, you know. He's not a crafty fighter at all. Chito Vera has zero craft. He's less crafty than Vettori. Vettori at least has a crafty 1-2. DeLindsay at least has some, like, little crafty fucking grappling that he never gets to use. Vettori never lands his 1-2. Marlon Vera has crafty... You have a crafty chin. Fucking hell, congrats. You can take a fucking punch. Jesus Christ. He's not crafty. He doesn't have, like, anything special about his toolkit going for him. He's got nothing. You put him against Howdy Barcelos, Barcelos is crafting it up, taking him down, position to position, uppercuts, shit, pressuring hard. That's not... Chito Vera doesn't do that. He doesn't do... He stands there, he aura farms, high guards, and does nothing. Let's move on to someone who is really crafty. Alexander Volkov. Swolkov might be the craftiest thing there is. Crafty move to pack on size at heavyweight. It was a... You know, he was able to... I think Cyril Gahn was his craftiest performance, and he got robbed. Cyril Gahn was his craftiest performance. He got robbed against Gahn. He really did. He was able to out-tit for tat Gahn. He was able to hurt him. He was able to beat him he was able to out-grapple him. Like, he beat Cyril Gahn. He used it with his crafty takedowns. He used it with his crafty leg kicks and striking, his long... against Pavlovich, his long, lanky, awkward reach, he was able to use to just craft it up. He was able to just teep, jab, straight shots, and stay out of Pavlovich's range. He's very good at using his toolkit and his bag of weapons. He's using the tools in his arsenal. He's crafty. And you know what? Same thing with Jan Blachowicz. Jan Blachowicz is also crafty as fuck. One of the most underrated light heavyweights ever. He's got smashing low kicks. His boxing is so awkward, but it's so effective. He was able to outstrike. He was able to craft up Izzy. He was able to craft up prime Izzy, out leg kick him, outbox him, out grapple him. He's got all the tools in his arsenal. He might just be the craftiest light heavyweight of all time. Him and Glover Teixeira. Glover had crafty striking himself in a crafty jiu-jitsu game. But he might be the craftiest fighter of all time. Definitely one of arguably him and Glover are definitely tied for craftiest light heavyweight of all time. But I kind of want to talk about an underrated craftster who's coming up in the crafty games. Paulo Costa is a different level of. He's a different kind of craftiness. It doesn't seem crafty what he's doing, but it's very skilled. It's a very simple kind of craft, which is just a style that fits him best. He utilizes his skill set to the maximum at this point. And how he does that is Paulo Costa finally realized, I don't have crazy knockout power in my hands. I'm not a crazy knockout artist with my punches. But I'm explosive, and I kick really hard. And you know what that does? That slows fighters down. And with that, he was able to two very explosive and fast Russian fighters who are kickboxers, like Roman Kopylov and Azamat Murzakanov. With his explosivity and his kicks to the legs, into the body, into the head, he was able to systematically slow down and just stunt Kopylov and Murzakanov, knocking out Murzakanov in the third and just completely nullifying Roman Kopylov. Kopylov wasn't doing anything because he was getting his ribs and his leg smashed. All right, and Paulo Costa, you know what? He realized he doesn't have crazy knockout power, but he does. He is fast and he's explosive with his striking in his hands too, and he'll use that good with his body shots. He'll mix up his strikes to the body, just throw these digging hooks to the body. Paulo Costa, and he's got a granite chin. He uses all of his tools to the maximum, even though he gets tired at this point. If he's getting tired, he's gonna make you tired too. And that's his game. He's willing to bet that when you both get tired, he's gonna grit down more than you are. He's gonna throw those body kicks and leg kicks to slow you down. And when he inevitably slows down, his game is just, if he slows down more than me, I can keep doing what I'm doing, outpoint him, smash him with body kicks, and maybe get a knockout. Stole the reactions. That's crafty, underrated. I don't think he's at the point of true crafty vet status yet, but he's getting there. You could argue him being A tier crafty vet. You could argue him being A tier in craftiness. I think there's a solid chance this year Paulo Costa becomes a champion. I really believe so. I believe there's a real good chance if you put Costa versus the winner of Ankalaev and Roundtree, especially if it's Roundtree in a 5-round fight, he finishes Roundtree. You put him against Ankalaev, I think he could do it against Ankalaev. Because he's also got real crafty takedown defense. He's real big and physical, so he's real good at stuffing those takedowns. So I think Paulo Costa, A-tier crafty vet, welcome to the club, brother. Hey, welcome to my house, baby, what you... No, I'm sorry, that was fucking terrible and cringe. Dan Ige, D-tier crafty. I'd say at one point Dan Ige was crafty with his power and his short, stocky build and his head movement, but now I think people kind of realized he's just not that good. And the guys he was beating, they're not that good either. And that's kind of the truth. Andre Fili is just not that good. Andre Fili got absolutely pieced up and dismantled by Vinicius Oliveira. He's just not that good. I mean, who else did Dan Ige beat? Sean Woodson. I thought Sean Woodson was beating him, but he's just, not that good. I mean, who else did he fight? Nate Landwehr? Nate Landwehr is getting slimed out in one round by Cub Swanson. I mean, what else is one of his last wins? Damon Jackson. Damon Jackson's getting slimed out by guys on the regional scene now. This isn't anything crazy at this point. I mean, he was able to have a crafty decision again. He was able to, have competitive fights with Laurel Murphy and Diego Lopez, but then Patricio Pitbull just kind of smudges him real easily. And Melquizael Costa slimes him out and pieces him up in one round. He's kind of lost his craft aura to him. And Dan Ige, I'm sorry, you got to reside in the D tier. He's got more tools than the guys in the F tier for sure. And you know what? I'll put him above Tabora, but he's lost his craftiness to them. And you know what? I'm gonna power through these two at the same time because they got the same levels of craftiness. Petr Yan and Volk. Volkanovski uses a simple man's jab and footwork to maintain the champion at 37. My God. You know what? I'm going to put Gaethje in the S tier. I think if these guys get S tier, so does Gaethje. Gaethje has earned his right to the S tier. The way he crafted it up against Ilya in one of the arguably the biggest upset of all time in championship history. But Volk, he's got... But Petr Yan as well. Arguably the deepest tool bag in MMA. Volk, he's still got his striking, his ability to mix up the takedowns. He can still scramble and defend takedowns like a motherfucker. He's still crazy good at this age. He's still, real fast. He'll still land hard shots. He's still and able to hurt Lopez. Petr Yan, sick, crafty boxing. Clean kicks and trips. Takedown defense. Takedown offense. His ability to just flow and strike while switching and flowing between stances. And then like we said with Justin Gaethje, the crafty takedowns to the uppercuts. These are the craftiest fighters, some of the craftiest champions we've ever seen. And you know what? I'll say this is the definitive crafty list. I'll say this is the I'd say if you compare if any other fighter you name, you can compare him to someone in these tiers, I'd say they're that level of craftiness. This is a perfect example of a great crafty tier list. Let me know what you guys think down below. Let me know something you would want to see next. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.